Hello and welcome. Let's just dive right in. Have you ever felt that little pang of guilt when you buy a coffee? Or that wave of anxiety when you look at your bank account, even right after payday? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to talk about a way to tackle that exact feeling using a super simple system that's all about swapping out financial stress for some real, genuine freedom.
You know, this quote from the book Escape Poor Thinking just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That feeling of helplessness, like your money just has a mind of its own and it's always trying to get away from you. It's a feeling so many of us have. But what if I told you that it's not actually your fault?
Right, that constant guilt trip that runs in the back of your mind, it's not a personal failure. It's actually the result of running on a sort of default programming, an operating system that's quietly working against you. The author calls this poor thinking. And honestly, it's time we uninstall it for good.
So, what even is this invisible enemy? Well, poor thinking is basically that set of automatic money habits that feel totally normal, but they're the things that are steadily chipping away at your financial security. It's not about being bad with money, not at all. It's about having the wrong system running in the background.
Do any of these sound a little too familiar? Saving what's left over at the end of the month, which, let's be honest, is usually nothing. Or how about that classic one we tell ourselves, oh, I'll get serious about saving once I get that next raise. These are the exact habits that keep us stuck on a financial treadmill, just running and running, but never really getting anywhere.
So, the way out of this trap isn't some ridiculously complicated spreadsheet or a budget that makes you miserable. No, it's one simple, really powerful rule that completely flips the script on how you handle your money. It's designed to replace dozens of stressful little decisions with one single, calm and intentional action. And this is it. This is the core idea, the one big mindset shift. Before your landlord, before the grocery store, before anyone else gets a single dime of your money, you pay the most important person on your payroll first, the future version of you. So here's how that rule, which is called first third to freedom, actually breaks down with every single paycheck you get. The very first third of your gross income, so the money you make before taxes, goes straight to future you. Think retirement, investments, that kind of thing. Then roughly another third goes to taxes. Gotta pay Uncle Sam. And what's left, that final chunk, is what the author calls your live bucket. And I gotta tell you, the order here is everything. It's everything. We're human, right? We tend to spend what we see in our account. So by paying future you first, you're working with your human nature, not fighting against it. You automatically become an investor, and that progress happens whether you feel motivated that day or not. It's brilliant. So this leads to the most important part. What happens after you've paid future you? Well, this is where the magic really kicks in. This is where you get your official permission slip to actually go out and enjoy the money you earn and to do it completely guilt-free. The book has this great little story about this exact thing. When the author, John, was dating his future wife, she kind of noticed that he seemed to spend money pretty freely on things he wanted, without a lot of hand-wringing. And from her point of view, it looked a little, well, reckless. She was worried he wasn't being all that responsible because he never seemed stressed about buying something. But then, one day, they actually sat down and looked at the numbers together. And that's when she realized what was really going on. What she was seeing wasn't carelessness at all. It was actually the result of a very deliberate system. See, he had already sent that first third of his income off to his future self. So the money he was spending, the money in his checking account, was from his live bucket. And that money's entire job, its only purpose, was to be spent and enjoyed. Can you imagine how freeing that must feel? Okay, so that's the why. Let's get practical and talk about the how. What does this actually look like with real numbers? Let's break it down using the same example from the book.
Okay, so let's say your monthly gross income is $6,000. Before you do anything else with it, that first third, $2,000, is automatically sent off to future you into your 401k or an IRA. Then let's just estimate taxes at around $1,500. So what does that leave you with? That's your live bucket.
In this case, that leaves you with $2,500. Now, this is your operating budget for the entire month. And here is the most important part. You have full 100% permission to spend every single penny of this. No guilt, no second guessing. Why? Because you've already taken care of the most important thing first. Now, inside that live bucket, it's still pretty helpful to know where your money is going, right? You've got your essentials. Those are the non-negotiables, the must-pays, like your rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities. And then you have your discretionary spending. That's the fun stuff you can dial up or down, like eating out, shopping, or your hobbies.
Knowing the split just gives you more control and clarity, even inside your guilt-free spending money.
So, how do you make this your reality? Because the goal here isn't just to understand the concept, it's to actually install it in your life. So here is your immediate, actionable game plan, straight from the source.
First things first, just figure out where you are right now. Look at the last 3 months. What percentage are you actually saving? No judgment, just get a baseline. Second, make sure you have the right account set up to make this easy. And third, and this is the absolute key to the whole thing, you have to automate it. Set up those automatic transfers to happen on payday so the system just runs itself without you ever having to think about it.
And please, please hear me on this. If you can't save a full third of your income right now, that is perfectly okay. The goal is progress, not perfection. Start wherever you are, even if it's just 5%. Then try to increase it by just 1% a month. Those small, consistent steps are what create massive, life-changing results over time.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What would truly change for you in your life if you knew with 100% certainty that your future was being taken care of automatically every single month? What would it feel like to finally have permission to spend and truly enjoy the money you work so incredibly hard for? Because that's the freedom we're really talking about here.